Hi, so when we talk about mutations, it is not just about adding or updating, it also includes removing. And because we've already learned about how to add and how to update list items, it is now time for us to learn how to remove items from a list. And Python offers us several ways of removing items from a list, and we are going to look at many of them, okay? Or probably even all of them. So we are going to use the menu list from the previous videos, and I have already copied it over and I've printed it also. What I want to show you on line 4 is how to invoke the remove function of the list data type. So the remove method is available on the list data type, and the way you use it is you invoke the function or you call it, and then you supply the item that you want to remove. And if your items are strings like we have in the menu, then you want to be sure that you are respecting case sensitivity. So what is spelled in small letters is different from what is spelled in capital letters, okay? So if I want to remove pizza, what I'm going to do is I'll say menu dot remove, and then I will specify that I want to remove pizza, and then I'll print the menu again. So this removal is happening in place, okay? So it will remove it, and so menu will be updated to the point where pizza is no more present, okay? So I'm going to run this program and then we will see. So the file is list remove.py, and evidently from the output you can see that from the first print statement on line 2 everything was in there, and from the print statement on line 5 we can see that pizza is not present because it has been removed, okay? All right, so I'm going to show you another method called pop, which we can use to remove an item from the back of the list, okay? The same pop function can also work in a way where you specify the index where you want the popping to happen. Now, the difference between remove and pop is that when you pop, it actually returns what you are popping and it removes it from the list, okay? So this is going to be the difference. I can say last item is equal to, then I'll call menu.pop, okay? Now you can see that when you invoke a function, usually in Visual Studio Code or whichever IDE you are using, there is this small window that pops up and it shows information about the function that you are trying to invoke. It is called IntelliSense. It helps you to know the purpose of the function you are invoking and how to call it, okay? Now, when I call menu.pop, it is going to remove the last item and it is going to give it back to you. And that is why we have a variable on the left called last item. Feel free to call it whatever makes sense for your program. And then I bring the equal to because I want to assign whatever pop brings you. And remember that pop removes the last item. That is if you don't specify an index, okay? So I can print last item so that we are sure we are seeing what has been removed. And then we can print menu again to confirm that indeed it is removed from it. So I'm going to run this program once more. So the first print, which is happening on line 2, is here. We have talked about this. This is what is happening on line 4. And this is the print statement on line 8. And the reason why it stores Banku is because we called pop on menu without any index specified. And so the last item here, which is Banku, is going to be pop, and we stored that in a variable called last item. And we printed out that variable, so we see Banku here. And now when we print menu, you can see that menu has no Banku in it. So there's sushi, batura, chicken sabji, and noodles, but Banku is gone. To end this video, I'm going to show you how to call the pop function and specify an index where you want the removal to happen, okay? So you can see that after the pop statement on line 7, our list is actually containing sushi, batura, chicken sabji, and noodles. What if I want to remove chicken sabji? Well, For what is remaining in the list, sushi is at index 0, batura is at 1, chicken sabji 2, and noodles 3. So I want to pop at index 3. Okay, remember that your removal happens in place. So after we have popped on line 7, menu now doesn't contain banku anymore. So even the length of menu have changed. The item has been removed. Okay, so I'm going to pop chicken sabji. Okay, so I will say let's just say popped item is equal to menu.pop, and from what we saw in the terminal, you can see that chicken sabji is now at index 2. So I'm going to pop at index 2, and then I will print the popped item, and then now we will print the entire menu again. Okay, so let's run this program once more and see the output. I'm not going to repeat myself on what we have already talked about. So on line 11, we popped at index 2, and you can see that index 2 contained chicken sabji. And so when we printed out the popped item, we are getting chicken sabji. And now when we print the entire list, you can see that chicken sabji is not present in the list. So this is how we remove items from a list. Now I'm going to show you the last way of removing items from a list, which is known as clear. And when you invoke the clear method on a list, you're basically removing everything from the list. Okay, so now when we finally want to remove everything, what I'm going to do is I'll say menu.clear, and then I'll print menu. So at this point, we expect to see an empty list. Okay, so I'm going to run this program again. And once again, I'm not repeating myself on all these print statements you have seen already, but on line 15, we called menu.clear, and that removes all the remaining items from the menu list, and so it becomes an empty list over here. An empty list is delimited by empty square brackets. Okay, so this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you can remove items from a list. Let's take a quick break, and I will see you in the next video.